Grab a seat, sip some wisdom, and stay a while. This is the Prosperity Lounge, where growth gets personal.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Prosperity Lounge, where hope meets freedom and growth gets personal. I'm Joey Ruffalo, best-selling author, financial coach, and your go-to guide to making smart money moves, building businesses with purpose, and creating a life filled with peace, clarity, and impact. If you're tuning in tonight, thank you so much for joining us on our new Friday night time slot. Again, we're live every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Praise 96.3 FM here in East Tennessee, and also streaming in real time over on our YouTube channel at the Prosperity Lounge. Got a couple people in here already. Come over and say hi and join the conversation. If you haven't already, head over there, hit the subscribe button, and hop into the live chat. We'd love you to say hi, ask a question, drop a few words of encouragement for tonight's guest. You can also call us at 865-577-4885. That's 865-577-4885. You could also send us questions via the text line at 865-236-1791. That's 865-236-1791. Before we jump into tonight's topic, I just want to thank everyone who tuned in last week and watched our interview with Gracie. Gracie's the 14-year-old force behind Baked by Grace. This was our biggest show yet, and I'm so excited you guys got to support her. Really no surprise why. I mean, she was amazing, and her mom was outstanding. Thank you, Jessica, for all the shares on Facebook and all the Facebook group shares that you did. It was amazing. Thank you so much for bringing people into the show. Definitely have to have you on as a guest one day, because you got a lot to offer as well. But it was great to hear how Gracie turned just a simple love of baking into a business. Showing up at markets with everything from soft pretzels and fresh breads to wedding-worthy cakes. It was just amazing. And the best part, she's 14. She's just getting started. I mean, her goal is to have a bakery when she's 18, and she's already talking about expansion plans and where she wants to have bakeries in multiple cities and multiple areas. So absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see her, follow her, and have her back on with some more peanut butter cookies for Vance and some fudge and some other stuff for us, and taste one of those mini wedding cakes as well. I mean, she made 150 of those to get started, which was great. What inspired me most, actually, and I know many of you felt this too, was how she's building something so meaningful at such a young age. And she's doing that with the help of her family. She's got a clear vision of what she wants and a work ethic well beyond her years. I mean, she's already talking about homeschooling next year in high school, so she have less hours in school, so she has more time to bake and more time to fulfill orders and sell things and save and expand. And her mom already told me she's saving every single dollar she can so she can get her building in her business when she's 18. It's amazing. It's really just a reminder as well that age doesn't define your impact. And that brings us to tonight's guest as well, because whether you're 14 or 104 or whatever, passion and preparation is key. And our tonight's guest has built a business around helping homeowners prepare, not react. Remember that? We talked about that a long time ago, being proactive, not reactive. And tonight's guest is right up our alley. I got a buddy of mine, network member, BNI buddy, and Brad Fleming is here. He's the owner of HomeSmiles Knoxville. HomeSmiles is a preventative home maintenance company that protects your investment, preserves your home's value, and gives you peace of mind. Brad is the proud owner of HomeSmiles Knoxville, where he combines a deep commitment to service with a passion for proactive home care. A 33-year U.S. Navy diving officer and veteran. Thank you for your service, Brad. Brad brings the same precision, discipline, and integrity he honed in the military to help homeowners protect their greatest investment. Now a dedicated East Tennessee resident, he and his wife Peggy enjoy life surrounded by their 5 children and growing crew of 4 grandchildren. So whether underseas or on a roofline, Brad believes that maintenance done right is maintenance you never have to worry about. So pull up a chair, get comfortable, and get ready to be inspired. And while you're listening, don't forget to visit theprosperitylounge.com. There you'll find our free 8-step action guide to stop living paycheck to paycheck, our brand new student loan survival guide, and access to the Prosperity Planner, the budgeting tool that helps, it's helped hundreds of people so far get clarity and control. Use promo code RADIO for a special bonus gift. So after the break, we'll meet Brad, hear how HomeSmiles is changing the game for homeowners across Tennessee. So stay tuned, get ready. This is the Prosperity Lounge. Welcome back to the Prosperity Lounge. I'm Joey Ruffalo, and tonight we're talking about protecting your biggest investment, your home. Joining us tonight is Brad Fleming, owner of HomeSmiles Knoxville. Brad, welcome to the lounge.
Thanks, Joey.
Glad you're here, buddy. So go ahead and tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, Joey, well, first off, I'd like to, 1 second.
Let's try that now.
Yeah, Joey, little technical difficulties here, so.
Let's try
1
that,
second.
see if that works.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, well, we'll just hold
Well,
the
Brad,
mic here. We'll adapt.
this is
and
live
improvise.
radio again. I love it. I love
Go
the
back to my military days,
anticipation of
adapt,
live.
improvise, and overcome.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. So I was saying, this is Brad Fleming from HomeSmiles Knoxville. And we'll just start over and I'll edit it out later. Welcome to the lounge, Brad.
Joey, thank you so much for having me here, man. I really appreciate it. I love what you're doing here with the Prosperity Lounge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to come by. And we've had some conversations about coming on. And Brad and I are in a networking group together. And we're always talking weekly. And I said, Brad, you got to come on, man. You got a lot to talk about. And he was excited. I wouldn't say excited at first, but I think you were kind of curious, and then I kind of pulled your arm a little bit and got you down here. So perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, you did. And Joey, just to be clear for your listeners, I am not 104 years old.
No,
Okay.
you are not. You're
All
somewhere
right.
somewhere in that range.
I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
And I didn't mean to alienate anybody who's 105. I'm sorry about that. There you go. So Brad, tell me a little bit about yourself. I said in the intro, 33 years in the Navy. You got out recently. How long have you been out?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, I retired April 2022.
Thank you again. Bottom of our hearts for your service.
Appreciate that.
My dad was Army, and I know military. I never got a chance to serve myself. It's one of my biggest regrets, and I appreciate you stepping up and taking care of all of us.
Oh, thank you for that, Joey. I appreciate that.
Now, it said in here in the intro, you have, and I didn't know this. Maybe I should have known this. Grandchildren.
4. Maybe I feel like 104 years old.
Maybe. Okay, wow. So tell me a little bit about, you got out. What was transition like for you? Did you have anything lined up with this HomeSmiles or this business for you, something that you were planning when you were separating?
No.
Okay.
No, Joey, I'll say, business was never even, business and business owner was never on my radar. Being in the military, no matter what branch you're in, is not a business, right?
Right.
Now that, that's not to say that there are not aspects of the military that are not like business, but owning a business, running a business is not the same as being in the military. And I like to joke around and say, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business owner. I'm drinking from 3 fire hoses some days trying to figure out what's going on. But I think we're making a good go of it. And, when I retired 3 years ago, my wife and I were blessed to be able to move here to East Tennessee. We bought property before the property prices in East Tennessee went crazy. And we just love it here, and I guess probably about 6 months after retirement, I started getting maybe bored and looking for projects to do.
Okay.
And, fast forward to HomeSmiles was really appealing to me. I really liked the company, and I just thought it'd be a great fit for Knoxville.
Okay, so you saw a need, but that need came from you being bored first. Okay.
Everybody likes a challenge, right, Joey?
I love the
Everybody likes a challenge. I'm really challenged now.
Okay.
How about that?
Not bored anymore.
No.
Okay.
No boredom.
I love it. I love it. So we had a conversation pretty in depth when we were doing our pre-interview about comparing HomeSmiles Knoxville and what you do to owning a car. Now, most people own a house, they just cut the grass, rake the leaves, shovel the snow, patch a thing here or there, if something cracks, but we're talking way down the line. Like, I've known people who have cracks in their front steps and they've been there for decades. You measure like a ring of a tree, how old the tree is. You can measure how old the house is by the crack in the front stoop.
Dendrochronology.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but there you go. See, that's the Navy talking. Oh boy. So we talked about that a little bit. So let's actually have that conversation about car maintenance versus home maintenance and why people neglect home maintenance.
Well, I think that's a great analogy, Joey, the car analogy. So when a customer goes and purchases a new car, we'll say a new car. When a customer goes and purchases a new car, typically in the glove box, you're going to have your book that comes along with the car, right? And in any given chapter in that book is going to be a maintenance chapter. And that maintenance chapter just basically lays out every item per mileage that needs to be done on that car to maintain that car, to make sure it's safe, and to defer maintenance on that car. And when I say defer maintenance, I mean like, let's say oil changes, right? Typically now oil changes, when I was growing up, it used to be every 3,000 miles. And,
right.
Now it's gone to 5,000. And if you're running synthetic oils, it could be 7,000, 10,000. Whatever the case is, it doesn't really matter. The point is that maintenance is laid out there for you to see, and you know what has to be done. So if you were, and let's just, kind of say it like this, when you get that car, if you didn't even know that maintenance was required on that car, let's just say that, whatever reason, you didn't know there was any maintenance that was required on that car, and you just drove the car. For a while, it's going to be fine, right?
Sure.
The car's going to start every day. The car's going to run every day. Everything's fine. But eventually, your oil's still going to start to degrade. The engine's not going to get the lubrication it needs. Your brakes are going to be going bad. Your tires are going to be going bald. So all of those things are laid out for you, so you know exactly what maintenance has to be done for the safety of your car and for the deferred maintenance of your car.
Okay.
You don't get that with a house, right?
No.
When you buy a house, you don't get anything but a handshake from your real estate agent saying thank you for your business, and your insurance agent saying thank you for your business, and then you go along your merry way until bad things start happening.
Okay. So let's break down again the car scenario. New car, used car, new house, pre-owned house. Obviously, you got a new car, you start following the maintenance stuff right away, 3,000, you take care of it. Things sometimes, like you said, last a little bit longer. Maybe nowadays, I remember I had a new car back in 2007. Maybe it was because the economy was crashing and GM was going under, so I needed brakes within the first 1,000 miles on my Silverado. And now I have a car I have almost 40,000 miles of, and the brakes are still spectacularly good.
Yeah.
But my point is with that, okay, you have a house built from, brand new. You don't really have to worry about, you shouldn't have to worry about, let me put it that way, you shouldn't have to worry about something breaking right away. But like you said, with a pre-owned house or a used house or whatever, you only have what's been recorded. You don't really know when the last checks were on things, if any. You have a home inspection report that kind of says, hey, maybe look at some of this stuff that's coming up. But again, you really don't know. You guys get in there and at least from the get-go, get on a maintenance plan. Here's the schedule. Here's what's happening. This is what you need to do. And that's important because regular checkups, it's like going to the doctor, regular checkups helps keep you fresh, so to speak, right?
Yeah, and to your point, with the, buying a new house, buying a used house, the maintenance is the same. The maintenance is not going to change. But to your point where, if you buy a brand new house, no maintenance has been done on it, obviously because it's a brand new house. With a pre-owned house, most people don't keep maintenance records on home items. Most people, I never did. 100% transparency. I've never kept a home maintenance, record of anything that I've ever done.
That's true.
But if you look at my truck, I've got every receipt that I've done, every
shoved
oil
in the glove
change
box,
to.
right?
Oh no, mine's in a file. I'm
Okay.
a little bit more. I'm a little better than that. But I've got every receipt for every oil change, the tires, I mean, you name it. And that's just, I don't know, it's the mechanical mind, and that's just the way I've always been. But, that is, it really was one of the reasons that kind of brought me to HomeSmiles. That is something that we absolutely do for every service that we provide. You get a completion report. It tells you it shows you your before pictures, your after pictures. And as a homeowner, that's just a really good thing to have. Even if something were to happen to your home, you can say, hey, I've been doing this maintenance on this home. Or if you go to sell your home, that's really one of the reasons why I started keeping maintenance records on my vehicles. Because, a lot of times you want to sell your vehicle and you want to be able to show that you have been conducting maintenance on the vehicle. It's really nice to have that record to show somebody that the maintenance has been being done.
That's true. I love that. I had some notes here. I said people tend to wait until it breaks approach when it comes to their homes. Why do you think that is?
Could you repeat that question? I'm sorry, Joe.
People tend to do a wait until it breaks approach on their homes.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
I think there's a wide range of answers to that. The one that I would like to maybe, it's just some people don't know what maintenance needs to be done. So a lot of things, like you get in your car and you drive every day. Most people, right? You require your car to get back and forth to work. You want it to be safe. You want it to be dependable. When you walk in your house, all of those systems in your house are all over the place, right? Your air conditioning unit's outside. Your hot water heater's in a closet somewhere. Your smoke detectors are up on the ceiling. And, so a lot of things are out of sight, out of mind. And they don't really come into mind until they're not working anymore.
That's true. I mean, I never really, I guess nowadays too, like I said, with cars, they give you things like if I can press a button on my car and know what my tire pressure is.
Right.
I don't have to actually check it. I could see it. So I constantly am reminded of something comes up or if something happens, there's a gauge on my car that pops up and says, you load this, fix this, that. We don't have anything for our house.
That we don't?
Just yet, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe in the age of AI that'll come, right? Some computer will tell us.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Your air filter is low. Just constantly. But we do get the smoke detector alerts when the batteries are low. That's annoying. So you have to make sure you change those.
That's right.
That beep. One of the reasons I want to have you on is I'm really excited about what you're doing over at HomeSmiles. Again, being proactive and not reactive to things is something we preach here on the show. When it comes to budgeting, when it comes to finances, is being proactive in things. Can you tell us a little bit more why you started the Knoxville location and what makes you different from other home service companies?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously we started Knoxville here in Knoxville because it's such a great market. I mean, Knoxville is the third largest city in Tennessee. It's a beautiful place. There is no better place to start a business than here in Knoxville. That was hands down. So we're very blessed to be able to have it here in Knoxville. And, as far as HomeSmiles goes, we're kind of a one call, one service provider, right?
Okay.
We do, which we'll get into a lot of the services that we offer, I know. But, it just saves a lot of time not having to call multiple different vendors for all kinds of different services that you might need for your home. And you get a very trustworthy, very professional company that comes out, performs the maintenance one time, right? You're
Sure.
not trying to call different vendors and schedule different time. Maybe you have to schedule time off from work to make sure the cable guy's showing up between 9 and 1, and we're going to be there when we say we're going to be there. Outside of uncontrollable circumstances, obviously. But yeah, I mean, HomeSmiles is we try to set ourselves apart through professionalism and just the fact that you can get all of those services done at one time with HomeSmiles.
I love that. So we talked a little bit touched on it a bit about home people buying home insurance. When they're buying their house and they have to have home insurance, homeowners. The homeowner's insurance really doesn't insure home's functionality. It's like protecting the shell, but ignoring the systems in place. How do you feel HomeSmiles bridges that gap?
Well, like you said, Joey, the insurance is gonna repair or pay for those things that may cause damage to your home, right? We want to, which is still going to cost you money, right? I mean, every insurance, you're going to have a deductible. So we hope to prevent that, right? We want to save you money. So if we're doing proactive maintenance, and Joey, we'll say that term all night long, right? Yeah. Proactive, not reactive. So if you're doing proactive maintenance, now listen, it's not I mean, eventually something's going to break. I mean, that's, but that's the deferred part of it, right? You want to make it last as long as you possibly can. So that's the reason for doing the deferred maintenance, just to, get your money out of it, get your return on your investment off of your home's equipment. And, and then HomeSmiles with our services, I guess to answer your question on bridging the gap between insurance and home services, we want to prevent you from using your insurance, right? I think every insurance agent out there right now is like, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, our hope is that you never have to use your insurance because we've been doing the maintenance for you and it's working.
That's a great point. I love that. We talk a lot on this show about financial clarity and protecting your peace. And I feel like the approach you take and the approach you have and the services you offer is helping people against those surprise bills. It's really, and those surprise bills, man, they derail budgets. So basically, for everybody out there, it's preventative financial planning in disguise.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Awesome. All right. So we've been talking about the importance of preventative home maintenance. Let's break down exactly what it looks like in practice. So can you walk me through the different package levels you offer? You mentioned something essential, essential plus, and the complete package.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, so HomeSmiles, we offer packages, but I would also, we also offer a la carte. Not everybody wants the complete package. Highly recommended because you're getting everything that's listed on that package. The very first thing is the essential. The essential, we try to cover the safety items on the home. The essential plus, we throw in the safety and some of the deferred maintenance, and then the complete. The complete, what I like to say is really the extra mile. We always go the extra mile, but with the complete package, there are certain items in there that just really, kind of put our services over the top. So essential, essential plus, and complete. And I guess it's probably a good place to throw a plug in, HomeSmiles within the next couple of months, we're going to be offering a new service called HomeSmiles 365.
Ooh, breaking news.
Yeah, so breaking news right here. You heard it first on the Prosperity Lounge.
Yes.
So HomeSmiles 365 is going to be like a subscription-based service.
Okay.
And I know some people don't really like the subscription-based service because they don't, maybe they won't use it, but this is for those people that just want turnkey maintenance, right? So we're going to come out 4 times a year, once a quarter, and all of that maintenance is going to be done for you. And you don't have to do anything.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Love that.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a really great service. I hope a lot of people are excited about it. And I know I am. I think it's going to be great for homeowners that just really, want to just turn the key and let it go.
Yeah, that's super helpful because I can envision a time where, and maybe you guys have this too, but maybe you guys are working towards it as a company where you get people on a maintenance plan, they're coming out and they're regularly maintaining things. I know with cars, if you have things in place, they lower your car insurance down.
That's right.
So I can imagine, those home insurance companies not paying out as much for vent fires and electrical things with air conditioning going bad because you guys are constantly checking it.
Yes. Constantly
fixing it, where it's going to save me money in the long run. It might actually help me reduce my insurance premiums at some point. I mean, everybody's got to work together and be on board with it, but having that thing in place to present to these insurance companies and say, hey, we have this plan, people are using it, this is what we've seen, it's a reduction of incidents, therefore, there's a good synergy here coming up. I love that option.
Joey. It's happening. Yes, it's in the works.
Perfect.
And each insurance company is going to be different, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for insurance agents and for homeowners, it's a win-win.
Perfect.
It really is. And you could think of any of the safety-related maintenance items that we do. If you're thinking, well, how is this going to save me money? Well, just which we'll get into the hot water heater flushing here, I'm sure.
Ooh, what's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, look at go to YouTube and watch a video of a hot water heater that hasn't been well maintained. It's scary.
Oh man, we had a conversation. I go back to the point where we're talking about used cars and pre-owned homes, especially here in East Tennessee. And this is important for the local listeners, or anybody really, but more important for local listeners. We had a conversation about East Tennessee, Knoxville in general, surrounding areas, is one of the most moved to location. Now, a lot of people are moving here from areas that don't experience the same type of weather, same type of seasons. Coming from California, let's say you're in San Francisco area, you're not getting winter, you're not getting really heavy rains most of the time, you're not getting the heavy hot summer. You come here and you live the whole life of somewhere where you didn't have to worry about gutters. You didn't have to worry about getting up there and cleaning them or doing certain things to them. Do you have any advice or tips for people when they're moving to the area, and besides contact Brad with HomeSmiles Knoxville to set up the service, things that they can look for when potentially buying their home, but then immediately after buying their home, what are some things they need to do?
Yeah, I think the number one thing, like we've really already hit it, is just develop a maintenance plan. Whether you're buying a home or you already own a home, please develop a maintenance plan. And if you don't really listen, obviously call HomeSmiles, right? If you don't even know where to start, Joey, this is a financial show, right? So in the financial world, we always hear nothing's for free. Well, I'm here to tell you there is something for free.
Oh boy.
And that's HomeSmiles Knoxville will always come out and do a free estimate. We're always here to help. If you want to know, even if you want to know what items need to be on, a maintenance plan for a home, let me help you.
Man, I love free. You hear that, everybody? Free is free. I love that. So give Brad a call for free. He'll come on out. Now, I should ask you, Brad, you're in Knoxville. So what service areas do you cover?
All of Knoxville.
All of Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to any area.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a call.
You cover Farragut?
Absolutely.
All right. You said all of Knoxville. Farragut sometimes gets left out. Sure. All right. Perfect. I love that. Now, I'm going to have a little fun here.
Okay.
I'm going to throw out a service to you, and you're going to give me why it matters.
Okay.
In under 30 seconds.
Wow. I got to be held to 30 seconds.
Well, I'll let you go a little bit longer.
If I go over, it's no penalty.
No, I'm going to gong you a little bit if it goes a little over, but we're good. Okay.
The buzzer.
Yes. Gutters.
Okay, gutters. That's an easy one. Obviously, cleaning your gutters is very important because gutters are designed to divert water away from the foundation of the home.
Okay.
If your foundation erodes, and that's with anything, if your foundation erodes, the rest of the house is, it's very costly to do foundation repairs. Mm-hmm. So they're designed to divert water away from the foundation. But also, if you don't clean the gutters, when it rains, all of the vegetation that's in the gutters, now the weight of that plus the weight of the water that cannot flow out of the gutters is it's so much that it will potentially pull the gutter away from the fascia.
Oh, wow.
So now you're doing damage to the gutters. You're doing damage to your fascia. Mm-hmm. The water that gets behind the gutter and the fascia starts rotting the fascia. So it's an escalation of repair pricing, right? So it's so much easier if you just get on that maintenance plan, have your gutters cleaned at least at a minimum once a year.
Okay.
Here in Knoxville, and really obviously depending on where you live in Knoxville, mm-hmm. Some homes don't have trees around them, right?
True.
So maybe you don't need to get them cleaned as much. But if you have trees around your house, probably twice a year.
Okay. Now gutters. Now I'm going to be ignorant on this topic for a second. You just have the gutters, but then when the downspout.
Yep.
Usually, I'll see people have an extra like drainage tube or whatever it's called mm-hmm. away from the house. It's not just enough to have the water come off the roof and drain and go. You have to divert it away from things.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not just cleaning that, but also the gutters in general, like making sure that water's not pooling around certain areas.
Yes. So when we clean gutters, and I'm going to go over your 30 seconds here.
You're fine. We're already way over. It's good.
So for a homeowner to clean gutters, right, they got to get the ladder out. right? They get the ladder out. There's an element of danger already.
Absolutely.
Right? Got a ladder out. And I don't care what your age is, there's an element of danger there.
Sure.
14 or 104, there's an element of danger. So you're up on that ladder, and now you've got a bucket in one hand, or you're just, cleaning out the leaves and throwing them on the ground, or however it is you're doing it, or you get up on the roof to do it. There's a whole nother element of danger, right? You get off the ladder, you get on the roof because you're tired of moving the ladder every 5-10 feet. So now you're on the roof, and there's the fall hazard.
Yeah.
So with the great majority of the projects that we do not have to access the roof. We use a proprietary special vacuum system called a Skyvac. We've got telescoping boom poles that go up to over 30 feet.
Wow.
This vacuum cleaner is, it's like a shop vac, Joey, but that's really kind of dumbing it down because this vacuum cleaner runs off of 240 volts. It's got 3 motors on it. Very powerful.
Wow.
So we basically we just go along the gutters and we right from the ground and we clean everything. There's no mess on the ground. Everything goes into the vacuum system. We empty it out into a garbage bag and we take it away.
I love that. You don't have to worry about anything.
That's right.
That's awesome.
And the element of danger is removed.
I've seen too many YouTube videos, especially the guys that are on the roof and they have the ladder, especially when they're hanging Christmas lights, right? And they get to the top and instead of going all the way down and moving it, they kind of hop on the ladder to move it. Yeah.
No.
Not at all. Okay, next one. Solar panels.
Solar panels, I'm not sure what the market is here in Knoxville. I think green energy is good, right? And you want to get as much return from your investment as possible. So just cleaning your solar panels, right? If you have a layer of dust on your solar panels, it reduces the efficiency of the solar panel. So basically just cleaning your solar panels once or twice a year will help you in the long run see your return on investment just by the energy production that solar panel provides being clean.
Okay, so you're basically saying if I don't clean them regularly, it's going to be harder for them to produce the same amount of energy, which is then going to cost more, either in wear and tear, and I'm going to have to be replacing them a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah, so I mean, you when you buy solar panels, you're really looking to offset your energy costs, right?
Right.
And probably most people that buy solar panels say, well, okay, if I pay X amount of dollars for my solar panels, and that cuts my energy bill by $100 a month, how long does it take for me to pay back my solar panel initial cost? Right?
Yeah.
So now let's fast forward to 6 months and you're not saving $100 a month anymore. Now you're saving $70 a month because there's a layer of dust on your solar panels.
Right.
Right. So now it's taken longer than you had anticipated initially. So clean your solar panels.
Okay.
And see that ROI like you planned.
Man. Everything about saving money. I love it. All right. Next one real quick. Pressure washing.
Pressure washing. A lot of people think pressure washing is just for curb appeal.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Not so. So,
okay.
Fill
me in here. Tell me what's about.
So if you have a dirty house, let's just, and when I mean dirty, I mean, you got algae growing on your paint.
Okay.
Right. It's degrading the paint. So yes, it does provide curb appeal, but it also helps protect your home surfaces. And we're talking pressure washing. We're also talking soft washing. Okay, 2 different processes.
Okay.
Pressure washing, high pressure. Obviously, soft washing, soft pressure. You wouldn't want to hit let's say vinyl siding, right? You don't want to hit a vinyl siding with high pressure.
Okay. Yeah.
And so a lot of those, a lot of the older vinyl, right, becomes brittle because it's not been maintained. It hasn't been cleaned. So that siding gets brittle. You hit it with high pressure, and now you have holes in your vinyl siding. So don't pressure wash your vinyl siding. Let HomeSmiles come out and do some soft washing for you.
I love that. And by doing it on a regular as part of your home maintenance plan, your 4 times a year, whatever the recommended maintenance schedule for that is, will that also help the homeowner determine if there's, I don't want to say holes, but like degradation in the siding, water might get through that could be patched easily because you're spraying water on it.
Yeah, so that's a great point. When you're outside looking at it and, the whole side of the house is dirty, you might miss that, right? But then also, if HomeSmiles comes out and we do a service like that, if we identify issues, we're going to put them in a report and let you know.
Okay. Dryer vent cleaning.
Yeah, dryer vent cleaning, that's a big one, right? A lot of people don't even think about dryer vent cleaning, but dryer fires are actually a leading cause of home fires.
Really?
Yeah, did you not know that?
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
dryer lint. A lot of hikers use dryer lint because it's super dry and it's super lightweight and it starts a fire very quickly.
Okay. I have seen that on some of those like home shows.
Yes.
They use the
Yeah.
lint.
So annually, get your dryer vent cleaned.
I didn't think, again, home fires, but probably, again, going back to the maintenance level of how much more you have to run your dryer to clean your clothes. Instead of just a 1 60-minute cycle, now you're running 2 or 3.
That's right.
Or the dryers, so your energy cost is going up, and the life cycle of that machine is going down.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to replace it sooner.
That's
which is a
right.
hit to the budget.
That's right. Yeah, the more you run it, the less it lasts, right?
Right.
Yeah, you want to run it one time, save your energy, and
don't
get
build them
your
like they
clothes
used
dry
to.
quickly. And
We don't hang them anymore. Right? We don't build them like they used to.
the ultimate green energy, right?
Right.
The sun.
We touched on this a little bit earlier, smoke alarms.
Yes.
What is the standard? I've always been subscribed to or heard when you change your clocks, you change your batteries.
It's a good rule of thumb.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
See?
So, but here's the thing that I like to tell customers with smoke detectors is that, yes, we go up and, as a homeowner, you go up and you test your smoke detector, right?
Yeah.
So most people, I hope everybody,
Yeah.
I hope everybody tests them. But when you go up and you test that smoke detector, typically what you're doing is you're getting on a ladder, not a chair, right? You're not going to stand on a chair. You're going to get a ladder and be as safe as possible.
Okay.
You're going to go up.
I got to
and
go out and
you're
get a
gonna push the
ladder
button,
now.
Right? You're going to push that button and
Sure.
it's going to give your audible.
Yeah,
Does that mean that the smoke detector works?
absolutely.
No, it does not. That means that the audible works. So
Okay.
most smoke detectors have a 10-year lifespan. And without getting all technical on you and telling you how smoke detectors work, smoke detectors have a chamber inside that uses different functions to detect smoke. Once that chamber deteriorates and no longer works, that doesn't mean that the audible speaker doesn't work.
Wow.
So take your smoke detector down, take a look on the bottom of it, and see what the expiration date is. That's why they're back there.
I never even knew there was an expiration date there.
Thank you.
I just thought it was for the batteries.
Yeah, one of the first homes that I ever did. One of the first homes we did, we went in and checked every smoke detector, all of them upstairs in the main hallway and all of the bedrooms. The very first one did not audible, which was it's obviously, you're like, oh, wow, okay, here we go.
Sure.
So you take that one down, you look at it, and it was expired. So then I went around to all of the bedrooms. All of the audibles on the bedrooms worked, but they were also all expired. Guess how old the house was, Joey? 11 years old.
I was going to say less than 20 years old. Just
11 years
wow.
old. Smoke detectors typically have a 10-year lifespan.
So they just were brand new and never looked at.
That's right.
My
so
gosh.
you go buy a brand new home
Yeah.
and you think, oh, wow, okay, everything's
This is
good.
great.
Right, so
Now, I've seen one guy at a building come in and do kind of smoke detector check, and he actually sprayed like smoke in the air.
that's right.
Is that something you guys?
We don't do that. It might be something that I will look into, but typically what we'll come in and do is most newer homes, the smoke detectors are hardwired in. So we come
Okay.
in, we disconnect that hardwire. We'll take a picture of the smoke detector. We write a code on the back of it, like maybe it's your master bedroom, so we'll do MB1. We record the expiration date on it. We test it, and then we replace the battery.
Nice.
So the reason why we replace the battery is because what's going to happen, so it tests, right? It works perfectly, but 3 weeks down the road at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to start getting that chirping, right? Because the battery's not good. So we just, we replace the batteries, we
Replace it so
record
it's
everything.
recorded and you have
right.
a stat of when it was all done.
That's
and you
right.
keep track. Okay,
That's right.
cool. All right. Hot water heater.
Oh, yeah.
You said,
Your
oh, yeah.
home's rocket system.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
That's right.
I mean, I remember hot water heater. We go downstairs and somebody would come and look at it. Is the light still on? And stick a little sticker on it or something, and that was it. You didn't have to worry about anything. The pilot light was on. If it went off, you went downstairs with like something. You just kind of lit it.
Yeah.
But
so you're
you
talking,
didn't know how long these things were.
Yeah, you're talking gas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Yeah, so your hot water heater, recommended flush it every year, at least once a year. Okay. So what happens with your hot water heater is you get a sediment build up in the bottom. So what that does is that obviously it makes your hot water heater have to work harder to heat the water because that sediment acts as like an insulator. So it's harder for the heating element to transfer the heat into the water. But it also starts corroding the bottom of your hot water heater.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so when we joke, and it's not really a joke, but your hot water heater actually can become a rocket if too much pressure builds up in there. Yeah, but those hot water heaters have a temperature and pressure valve on it, right? It's a relief valve. So if you test that relief valve, or at least have it tested annually to make sure that that's working properly, that's what that is there for, is to prevent that overpressurization of the hot water heater.
Perfect. And again, sediment gets in there. It takes a lot longer for the hot water heater to heat up. You're using more water, you're using more energy. Your water bill's higher.
Absolutely.
So these are some of the things too, I think you can kind of, as a homeowner, see when you're doing your budget and you're doing your bills and go, I didn't use the water anymore this month. Why is my bill 30% higher?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's because you didn't realize you were running it longer to get hot water.
Yeah,
and it starts consistently getting higher. It's like, there might be an issue.
We do talk about the electrical savings a lot, Joey, but I'd also like to point out the deferred maintenance. I mean, look at any one of those systems in your home, like a hot water heater, right? To replace a hot water heater.
Oh, gosh.
Right? So if you're not doing the maintenance on your hot water heater like you should, and maybe a hot water heater is supposed to last 10 years, okay? And I'm just throwing the 10 years out there, maybe it's 15 years, but wouldn't you like that hot water heater to last 15 or 20 years?
Yes.
Right? So now you're not having to replace it every 10 years, it's 15 or 20 years. So you're increasing the life expectancy of that home system, your air conditioner system, your dryer, all of those things we're talking about, the deferred maintenance is just to prevent you from having to have that system replaced as quickly.
Okay. I got one more for you here.
All right, hit me.
AC condenser coils.
Nice. So we kind of talked about that, right?
We did. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, so the AC condenser coils, typically what we'll do is we come out with a solution. We spray your AC condensing coils on the outside. We let it break down that oil and dirt and grime that's in between those cooling fins, and then we clean that out. And again, what that does is it prevents your compressor from having to work so hard. Those cooling fins transfer heat, right? So the heat that comes from inside your house goes outside, and those cooling fins transfer that heat to the environment. If those cooling fins are clogged up with dirt and pollen and the oil from the system, they can't transfer that heat as effectively. So your compressor's having to work harder to keep the house to the temperature that you're asking it to be.
Right. It's kind of similar to that solar panel thing we talked about.
That's right. So now again, your energy bills are going up, and your the lifespan of your system is being decreased.
Well, there you go. If you didn't write any of those down.
No, I'm not even looking at notes.
No, I said, yeah, that's true. You did it off the top, man. That's amazing. If you didn't write any of those down, guys, go ahead back and listen to the replay. Every one of those is going to avoid a future headache. Some of them real fire or water damage are left on the track. Yeah. That's crazy. Just going to keep going, Vance. Yeah, we're just going to keep going.
Like it.
I love it. We're riding down the road here. So here, my guest again tonight is Brad Fleming from HomeSmiles Knoxville. So Brad, let's get down the street level a little bit here. Can you share a story or two of clients you've worked with where routine maintenance prevented something major?
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to the gutter cleaning without giving client names or anything like that.
Yeah.
But gutter cleaning, when we clean the gutters, obviously, I'd like to go through kind of the process, of how we do it. Okay, so your listeners kind of understand when HomeSmiles shows up to your front door, what do you expect? Okay, my tech, and I just want to give a plug to my tech too, man. Joel, fantastic guy, just already part of the family. So Joel, if you're listening, man, thank you so much.
Thanks, Joel.
It's an honor to have you on with us. But Joel's going to show up to your door. He's going to knock on your door, introduce himself, and he's just going to kind of go over, what the service is that we're providing for you. And let's just use the gutter cleaning because we were kind of talking about that. So we're going to walk around, and Joel's going to take pictures of your gutter. So we've got a GoPro camera. It goes, attached to our tablet, or connected to our tablet, I should say. And he's taking before pictures of everything. And then he's going to get started cleaning gutters. And as he's cleaning the gutters, he's walking around the entire house. And if he notices that, say, one of those situations that I talked about earlier, where maybe the gutters haven't been cleaned in a long time and the gutters are pulling away from the fascia, or hopefully it's just starting to happen and we can catch it early.
Sure.
If we can catch it early and just inform the customer, then that will potentially save them just a lot of headache and money down the line. Just by affecting that repair early, it prevents that fascia, it prevents water from getting behind the gutter and the fascia and sitting there and creating the rot. It moves the water effectively, efficiently, like the gutters were designed to do. So we've seen that with commercial and residential. And once we give that completion report, we let the customer know and let them take it for action.
I love that. You're not just cleaning gutters or checking alarms, you're saving people from massive headaches.
Absolutely.
It's the kind of stuff that doesn't make the news, but when it does, it really hits your bank account. And that's,
yes,
it feels like a 5-alarm fire when it hits that bank account.
That's right.
It's an emergency. What would you say is the most overlooked area of home maintenance that tends to bite people later?
The most overlooked area. That's a tough one, because you really want to, we talked about home maintenance just being one of those things that people don't even really think about. So there's really no easy answer on that one. Okay. I think I would really say, Joe, if you asked me, again, I would just go back to just have a maintenance plan. I would say the whole thing is really overlooked, right? That's why HomeSmiles exists, is because all of that is overlooked.
I love that. It's a great answer.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. No notes again.
I think he's mocking me because I got notes in front of me here. See, I got my little notes. So what's next for HomeSmiles? You guys looking to you specifically, Brad Fleming of HomeSmiles Knoxville, where are you looking to expand? Are you looking to grow more territory? Are you looking to expand into things like property managers, HOAs? You got that new offering coming soon.
Yeah.
What are some things for you specifically in your franchise that you have in mind?
Hey, all of the above. Really, owning a business for me was not to be rich. It was the challenge of it and some of the unintended consequences of owning a business that I've learned. And again, it goes back to just that awesome responsibility, the feeling of responsibility of having an employee. Just wanting to provide for my employee. And to do that, obviously, you have to grow. So the answer is yes, we want to grow. We want to grow in territory. We want to grow in employees. I hope to have multiple vans running out around Knoxville and providing services all day long. And all of that goes back to taking care of my employees.
I love that. So, got a question in the chat, and this brings me to actually my favorite part of the show.
All right.
And that's our Q&A. These come straight from the community. I got some questions in from during the week when people knew we had Brad coming on. People would ask some questions, so we got some stuff here. If you're in the chat on YouTube at the Prosperity Lounge watching us live, thank you so much. Appreciate you there. If you're on Facebook watching live, thank you so much. We did get a question from in the chat here, but also got questions that came in. I got some questions specifically for you, Brad. Let me get to the questions in the chat here. So Susie is asking, how old is your company?
So the company, so HomeSmiles itself is well over 10 years old. And HomeSmiles was created just because of all of these situations that we're talking about. The franchise here in Knoxville was started in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another question from Susie in the chat asking about home warranty. But that's all she said was home warranty ? So I assume you guys work with home warranties on certain products or appliances or things like that?
Yeah, so that would be one of those situations that would be like a partnership with a home warranty company, I think is maybe what she's getting at. Yes, we could work with a home warranty company. That's a tough one to answer. We don't provide a home warranty. I don't know if that's maybe where she's going. We are not a home warranty company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are getting in there and kind of fixing the problems.
Yeah, if she could expand on that a little bit, maybe I could answer it better.
Yeah, Susie, ask a
Susie.
little bit better in the chat there what your question might be on home warranty. While we got Brad here, it'll be great. So a couple questions that came in. Tammy from Oak Ridge asked, and we kind of covered this again, but let's just ask it again. How often should I clean my dryer vents, and is it really that dangerous?
Yeah, Tammy, that is a fantastic question. And again, like we said, at least annually on the dryer vents. And yes, it is dangerous. When I probably shouldn't say this. Yeah, just again, the dryer lint is very flammable. Okay. It's very dry. It's very lightweight. It's very flammable. So yes, it is dangerous. Dryer fires are a leading cause of fires in America, across America. So please clean your dryer vent at least annually.
Perfect. Julie from Maryville texted in and asked, I live in a wooded area. How often should I check my gutters? Again, kind of covered that a little bit earlier, but can repeat that for us. So
Julie, if you're in a wooded area, I'd highly recommend twice a year.
Twice a year.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to touch on too is gutter guards, right? A lot of people put gutter guards on and they think, oh, I never have to touch my gutters again. That is, you may not have to check them as often, but they still need to be cleaned. I could show you pictures, but definitely, especially if you have an asphalt roof, the little pebbles from the asphalt wash off during rainstorms, they accumulate. And we just got done doing a house that had, it had vegetation growing in underneath the gutter guards.
Wow.
So all the gutter guards have to be removed, cleaned out. So just because you have gutter guards, please don't disregard and think that you just don't have to do that.
Absolutely. Okay. Last one for you, Brad, here is, what's one service you think every homeowner should prioritize no matter their budget? That's a tough one.
That's a great question. I don't know who asked it, but that is a great question.
I'm sorry, that was Derek and Powell.
Derek?
Yeah, Derek.
Hey, Derek, thank you for that question. And I would go back to smoke detectors, just because, they are your first line of defense during a fire. Please do an annual maintenance at a minimum on your smoke detectors. Like Joey said, move your clock, change your battery, whatever that might be. Have HomeSmiles come out, do it annually, whatever the case is. Smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, please.
That's right. So Susie actually cleared up here. She wants to know if home warranties are worth the money.
That's a baited question. I don't think I should answer that.
Okay.
Susie, I apologize. I think it really depends on the home warranty company.
Okay.
I would not want to,
I'll save you, Brad.
Thank you.
This is a conversation you have with Brad, not live on the radio. When you call him for your free consultation, when he's looking over your house and you ask him about home warranties, he'll give you an answer.
Yeah.
This way it's not recorded and nobody can hold you to it.
Thank you for clarifying those, Susie. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Susie's very active.
Awesome.
I love Susie, by the
it.
way. She's a great lady. How long you're in the military?
33 years, Susie.
33 years.
I did 33 years. 15 of it was enlisted, 15 as an officer. I took a commission as a chief warrant officer. I served as a Navy diver the whole time. I made master diver as an enlisted. Crossed over, took a commission as a chief warrant officer, made it up to chief warrant officer 5, retired in April 2022.
Outstanding. I remember Susie's was in the military. I think
Susie was in the military as well?
She's going to slap me when I see her next because I think she was Navy.
Oh, Susie, well, thank you for your service as well.
Hopefully she writes it in here.
Yeah.
And lets me know, but she lets me know about it all the time.
Hey, I like to say 4 years or 40 years. It doesn't matter to me, right? Everybody that volunteers to serve, you're that 1% of the population that serves your country. So kudos to all veterans and all active duty military members.
Susie says, I was in 20 reserves. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Love it, Susie. Thank you so much. Got one last question here. Looks like this one came in for me, for Brian from Lenore City. Brian asked, Joey, I'm renting now, but I hope to buy in the next year or two. How much should I be saving for repairs or move-in costs? It's a great question, Brian.
Yeah.
Great question. I would say you would start budgeting at least 1 to 2% of the purchase price for unexpected setup costs, appliances, locks, paints, tools, etc. And then for repairs and maintenance, again, about another 1 to 3% of the home's value annually for repairs. So if you have a $300,000 home, budgeted between $3 and $9 a year for just repairs and maintenance. Aim for $3,000 to $5,000 in your starter emergency fund before closing to cover immediate surprises. So we talk about having a $1,000 emergency fund. You're going to up that to $3,000 to $5,000 before, just to make sure you have some money in there when you get into the house. Plan beyond your closing costs. So don't forget, you got to get furniture, you got to get utilities, and lifestyle adjustments. Maybe you bought a house with a pool, and then you got to maintain that, or you got a hot tub on the deck, or you want to buy a nice grill, and you're going to be an outside grill guy. Yeah, check that out. So yeah, definitely do that. And then one awesome tip is to use your budget now. Practice fake owning by budgeting what your future mortgages, taxes, and insurance would like. And all you're going to do with that is save the difference. This gets you into a habit of putting that money aside now on your current lifestyle and determine whether you're ready or not to buy. I mean, you may have the down payment set up, but are you able to afford the increased cost monthly? So definitely do that over the next time or two. The house could be the biggest blessing, but also could be your biggest curse, your biggest financial albatross. So you want to make sure you're doing it correctly and you get in there and you don't regret it. I love that. So we're getting ready to get towards the end of the show here. Brad, how do people, before I wrap up here, how do people get in touch with you? And is there anything you have for our audience today?
Yeah, so a couple ways that the audience can get a hold of me. You can call me directly. I'll give you my business cell phone right here. If you got a pen and paper, 865-333-2242. You can call me to take advantage of that free estimate. You can reach out via email, and that's B as in Brad Fleming with one M, B Fleming at HomeSmiles.com. And you can check out our website, knoxville.homesmiles.com, if you want more information. And so one other thing I'd like to add, for your listeners here, Joey, I'm going to give you a promotion here, okay? Anybody for the next 30 days that wants a service, any service, Praise 10 for a 10% promotional.
I love that. Awesome, Brad. Well, we're right up against the hour, top of the hour. We had a great conversation. I appreciate you joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you,
what
Joey.
you're doing, not just keeping homes clean, but keeping people with peace of mind, saving money, and protecting what matters most. Talked about preventative maintenance, small issues when ignored, turning into big expenses, and you don't need to do it all at once. Just start somewhere. If you missed any part of today's show, be sure to catch the replay live on our YouTube channel or podcast feed. And while you're at it, visit theprosperitylounge.com for our free tools, including our 8-step action guide, our student loan survival kit, and our prosperity planner budgeting tool. If this episode encouraged or challenged you, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Prosperity Lounge on your favorite podcast platform or over on YouTube. And hey, if you haven't already, visit theprosperitylounge.com for our free 8-step action guide to stop living paycheck to paycheck and join the growing community. Until next time, stay faithful, stay fearless, and remember, freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open, and so is your next breakthrough. This is the Prosperity Lounge.
Pull up a chair. The journey's